Hell, this is gonna be a good one. All right, welcome people. We back live. Me and my nigga thought. Let's see, is your audio? Yeah, your audio all right. Yeah, but
Yep.
what I was looking at, like you start to realize, because like now as I'm looking into like becoming a married man, I was talking to an older couple, they're married 45 years. I said, what's the secret? And they're just like communication, kicking it, talking, become friends, understand that this idea that love, like this magical fucking, it doesn't exist. It's fucking you're looking for a feeling that doesn't exist. You're chasing some magic fairy dust. And I was telling them like, oh, like I was explaining my idea of how basically I'm gonna run my situation, which is basically, hey, look, we got about a year and a half to plan this now. I plan on buying a house. I plan on buying the house July 2025. I will have a home. Now, whether I go into that home as a bachelor or with a fucking wife depends upon your choices, baby, and your behavior. So, do you want to earn a fucking house? and
Does she
that,
understand what come with it?
mm,
You know, a lot of times we're moving so fast as males and men, we don't convey properly. We don't properly convey the benefits. It's not a benefit feature presentation. It's just like a feature presentation. And when you got a feature presentation, you just focus on the features. What do it do? It do. We got a house. We got a house. We got this. We got this. We got money. We got this. We got this. But you're
mm,
not looking at it from the standpoint of what's the benefit.
mm,
What benefit? And a lot of times when you deal with a woman, because they are wrapped in vanity, they are laced in vanity. From the time they're created, they need a benefit. What's the benefit of it? We're good at showing them the features, but what's the benefit for her? And one of the benefits for her as a woman is she doesn't have to constantly defend and maintain her womanhood. See, when you one of the beauties about being a man is you have the ability to relieve a woman of her womanhood, relieve her of thinking too much, doing too much.
mm.
In society, she gets rewarded if she has that. And so that's always the benefit that you want to present to her. Sweetheart, it's not just a house. It's a lot of houses out there. But the benefit of having a house with me is look, you can lay your head in peace. You actually can get rest when you get off work.
mm.
You have
If,
equity in this thing.
if you a
Go
real boss, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was gonna say, if you a real boss, hey, baby, you get to work from your home.
right,
You don't have to leave. You have to go out in the wolves and get defended. You
right.
you get to help your man. So now you get to go brag to your bitches. Look, I don't have to do it. I work 2 hours a day. Get to do what I want to do. My man makes all the money for me.
Right.
So now she's the boss amongst her friends. Because now the friends want to know what the fuck. How do you do that? Where do I find these men at?
That's
Now her
right.
status, yeah. Now her status within society grows.
That's right. Because she has a household.
Hmm. She's doing real boss bitch shit. That's real boss bitch shit.
Right.
Not that pretend shit that most of these girls be doing.
Well, that's what you only know to do is to pretend. People been pretending for so long that they don't know what else to do other than pretend, other than to make
Mm,
up a new way of entertaining and pretending. If you look at
mm,
the entertainers in a lot of the black community are miserable. They got the finances, but they don't have the benefits of the finance.
mm.
That's like
What?
having water, but you can't drink it.
Expand deeper on that one. You said
Okay,
with the entertainers in the black community. Yeah, expand a little bit deeper. That's
many
heavy.
many of them. Okay, you they may have starred in a couple films, right, a couple movies,
Hmm.
and they got the finances, they got the check, but they can't access it. It's not it doesn't do for them what it does for Caucasian actors and actresses in Hollywood. It's not the same. It don't spend the same.
Mm.
So whereas 100,000, that's chump change. Really, 100,000. In the black community, we look at that and go, "Oh man, he got some change on him." Well, he don't really go as far. He might be able to flash that cash in the hood, in the worst parts of the ghetto, but he can't go and establish and get things done the way a man is able to get things done.
This is
Who has
true.
what capital? He's not able to do it.
And let me get your what. This is a side note because I know you're familiar with the Rich Dad Poor Dad guy, Robert Kiyosaki or whatever his name is.
Right, Robert Kiyosaki. Yeah.
Yeah, he stated, okay, when you owe the bank $1 million, it's your problem. When you owe the bank $1 billion, it's their problem. And so apparently, I guess he said that I have so much debt that they don't know what to do with me.
Right, which is a good problem to have.
A great problem to have when you start thinking about it, because it's like if a nigga owes you so much money, you can't kill the motherfucker.
Right.
That don't solve the problem. I need my money still. So then you gotta figure out, okay, how can I work with you? Like, what can we work? Can we just work together? Can we figure out some shit?
And he's definitely one of the smartest guys to do it.
Right. Because that idea, I kind of understand that with man, how can I put that? That was such an interesting quote. It's like when you owe so much, or there's so much that you owe to somebody, you basically become untouchable. They got to figure out how to work with you. They have to keep you around. And that, and you know what? That's kind of interesting. It's almost like what you do with the same degree with a relationship. It's like when you put so much equity and capital. Yeah, I think that's why a lot of relationships fail with a lot of guys. Is that they put so much emotional investment, equity, and capital into like either their girl, whatever the hell. It gets to the point where they can't let her go because it's gonna cost me so much myself.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm willing to walk from that amount of debt.
Yeah, it's a lot of guys out there that do that. I think it's sad.
Yeah. Instead of cutting the bait early. It's like when you started noticing, like, and that's one of the interesting phenomenons, because that's not the first time I heard about that theory. There's always been guys like there's a guy, Joey Diaz. He's kind of funny, but he said my coke dealers, if I own 300, I pay them 170, and I ask for another 8 ball. And he's like, and before they know it, I owe them damn near 10 racks.
I just like you can have good sides on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Owing people and having people owe you, it just depends on who you're dealing with. You got to know who you're dealing with at the end of the day. Because if you don't know who you're dealing with, and that person give you a rude awakening, you find out, damn, this motherfucker's not playing like I thought they was playing. You know, like Smokey on Friday.
Yeah.
He had to send his goons to shoot the block up. Just for him to realize, man, I'm not who you think I am. I'm not a toy. I'm not a joke.
It's like that nigga Ernest Rain, whatever the fuck, the motherfucker from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Same shit. Yeah. I just find that fascinating because when I think about the idea of debt in a relationship, where it's like guys keep giving, and like they don't realize that you. One of the things I kind of realize relationships is like your happiness. No, I'm not gonna say your happiness. I would say your peace. She always disturbs your peace a little bit, but you're like, I'll let it slide because the pussy's good and she looks good on my arm. And it just keeps developing. It keeps developing. You keep giving a little bit more of your piece. Now she's doing more into your life. She's infiltrated. And one of the things that I always laugh about with the guys when it comes to the girlfriend situation is that she gets all the man and you get no wife.
That's true.
Excuse me. She gets all the man, all the best part of a man: the protection, the provision, the comfort of having a man be able to show off to her girlfriends. And what does she really give up? A little bit of pussy, that's it. And niggas are taking that deal, which is amazing to me. It's one of the most fascinating phenomenons me to observe just as human beings, at least as a human, to watch that phenomenon play out. Because when you think about it, how can I put it? When you think about the long-term benefit of actually getting married and having a wife, it over time, like it's like how can I put it? I was talking to a young man today. You're investing in life. So yeah, any investment in the beginning of anything is fucking terrible. Like if you want to start a business, you got to go into debt for the business. Like even if you're just being a handyman, I got to go buy tools. I got to have a car. I got to go do marketing. I got to put all this money into all these different things just to start to make a profit. It's the same thing with life or a relationship or a family. You got to put a bunch of energy. You're going to sacrifice your sleep, your energy, your time, your skill set, your happiness. But the payoff is once you got your money right when you're older, you got shit to do now. You got places to be. You got people that give a fuck that you're around.
Mm-hmm.
And like one of the saddest things I think I ever noticed is like, especially with these red pill guys and these dating coaches, the PUA coaches, is like they don't see the downside when you're 40 years old still partying like you're 18-year-old nigga.
Right. And you're putting your life and you're putting your health in jeopardy. They don't talk about that either. I see a lot of people on social media, they only talk about the dating, but they don't talk about the downside of dating. The downside of dating is putting your life and your health at jeopardy. Because yeah, she looks good to the naked eye. But does she look good under a microscope?
No lie. No lie.
You know.
Like I saw a video that crushed me, man. That shit was fucked up. It was a young, beautiful little, maybe like 22, 23-year-old blonde chick. And she was crying on the internet like, so let me tell you guys a story. So I was dating and blah, 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 going on the scene. And one day I wake up to go pee and it just burns. So I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I go to the doctor and I find out I have like herpes or some shit. I got some UTI infection that's for the rest of my life.
Yep.
Life. We're not talking about just a couple months. No, we're talking about life.
Yeah, that life luggage.
Life. That's heavy shit. And you look at the bitch, beautiful, gorgeous, beautiful. And she's like, I don't know how to tell this to my parents. How do I tell them my future dating party? Because I think about this right now, man. As a dude, if I find out a girl got a UTI, nigga, that's it. That's a wrap, nigga. And then she find out she can't get birth because it's a possibility that she might kill the kid. So now there's birthing complications. It's real shit. And guys don't. And the crazy part is guys don't take account, not take account, but guys don't account for that when you're out here having just random encounters with these chicks. Like, yeah, that shit sounds cool in theory, nigga. It's fucking. Oh yeah, I was fucking this bitch behind a bar. That shit sounds cool,
right? We do a lot of times, guys. We do it for the bravado, not realizing the bravado is what's holding a lot of us back.
It's filthy. It's disgusting. And like I felt so bad for the girl because that's something you gotta sit there and like live with. Like, yeah, no man who's actually got his shit in order is ever gonna take you seriously. Because any man that's actually looking to get, like any man that actually is a forward-thinking, logical man, he's gonna make sure we get sexually tested. We're not just gonna just start having a family. And that's when you start realizing, well, I would love to know the percentage of people that actually get sexually tested before they get married. I'm willing to bet it's less than 10%.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably not that high. But for those who do it, they taking their situation serious.
Mm-hmm. I see. That's when I was thinking about. I made a video. I got a little bit of fight. But I was saying, like, I think prenuptial agreements is bullshit. I think it's some bullshit because you should have done so much homework on your girl, put her through so many trials. Because one thing you learn about women is women they're not going to sit around and try to like, how can I put it? Women are not going to work that hard to try to con you. And if they do, you could tell they try to con. Like, how can I put it? Like, they're not okay, but they're not very good liars. If you can use some logic and you can use some sense. So if you don't flaunt money, if you don't show money, you're not going to get a gold digger.
Right.
It's like they react to what they see. If I make some sense.
Yeah. In other words, they're going to play the audience. They're gonna shake up the crowd shuffle what the defense is going to give them.
Mm-hmm. And so I was thinking, like, look, something that he told to me that was so profound. It's like when you get married, it's a union. You are no longer individuals. What is hers is mine, and what is mine is hers. If I got 10 chickens, she got 10 chickens. And you said, motherfucker, she should get all 10 chickens. But we can't split 10 chickens 10 each. So we have to give 5 a piece.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I look at it, it's like I think it's an easy trade-off because if she's subjected to my physical, what's the word? If I have the advantage physically, where I can physically do what I want to do to her, I think it's only fair that she should be able to have the her weapon be the base of the money. She gets to have the cash. Because even then, the cash don't fucking solve her issue, which is she might have had a child with you. She was married. Now she's divorced. Like those are scars on her record.
Yep.
She don't get to come with the same value. As a man, it's like shit, you get divorced, it's like fuck it. Like there's plenty of women that still deal with you.
Yep.
You can still go out there and make some more finance. Finance is not the end of the game.
Yep.
But like a divorced woman, that's a scarlet letter.
Yeah.
Because the next man she come across is gonna ask, well, why were you divorced? What happened? So now we got a situation. What do you mean? What happened? Like how did you end up divorced?
Then she got to go down that road.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, if you're not a real man, but if you're a man who's a forward-thinking man, these are real questions you're gonna ask. Because why should I take a chance on you after you already had a marriage and it didn't work out? Why would I take a chance on you when I can give another chance to a woman who was never married?
Right.
And then you think about the advantages. There's way more women who are being produced that were never married than there are women who are divorced. So like her whole group of people that she can actually go and date drops dramatically. And not only that, she's been customized for a certain man. So now you got
you always gonna have his stain on her.
Bingo. And that's what I was thinking. Like shit, man. Half your money is that's not enough. She can't get that time back. She can't get those war wounds back. She can't get that child back, that childbirth back. It's like you start to realize that trauma, that's real. And if a man gets divorced, if he's smart and he's intelligent about it, he'll know how to correct himself so it doesn't happen to him again to have another failed relationship like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, man only gets better with time.
That's the way it's designed or look set up to be. You know, we're dropping our seed into a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get much more valuable than that. You know, the child is our seed. You know, you your father's child, you your mother's.
She's the apartment complex.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like I was thinking with the prenup, I think the prenup is a horrible thing to drop on a woman because now you're going in with no trust. You're assuming this is going to fail.
I wouldn't say a prenup is assuming that it's going to fail, but I would say the prenup is plotting out strategies. But obviously something's there. If something's there, if you feel like you need a prenup with this person, you don't feel comfortable enough with them to move without it. So the fact of the prenup itself should be evidence enough to make someone want to slow down, in my opinion.
That's true. That's very heavy. That's a very profound statement.
You know, it's like,
yeah.
The way
how do you get this? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean
No, I was just agreeing with you. I was saying how they got it set up is it's like getting in the car with known gang members. You probably know they're not going to go volunteer to give out Christmas dinner. You know what I'm saying? But you got to ride with them because you from the hood or from the set, and you like, hey, ooh, if I'm gonna do this, how do I do this the best way to not get myself jammed up? And I guess
Yeah,
that's where a lot.
how do I mitigate my risk despite me knowing doing some dumb shit?
Right.
Which is once again, it's like, why even that situation? Like you said, why even that situation to begin with? How do you even get this far where you guys are getting married? How do you even get this far to the point where you guys are getting married, and now you feel the need when you get to almost the altar? Now we got to put the prenup.
Right.
And I would think if you got some real paper behind you, if you got some real paper behind you, I would actually think it will be easier to identify if a woman is good or not.
But it should be, but it doesn't. The real world doesn't always present itself that way. And you can have bad people in your corner. As R. Kelly.
That's real. I think another thing you told me that stood out to me was like if you got some fun, because I was asking you this question: what if you got some real finance and you're interested in a woman and you want to know if she's bet you? Well, you say, hey, well, like, how about I put you through this course? How about you get educated on these particular matters? This is something I need to help with my particular campaign. I'm going to put some finance behind you to see if you can be educated on this matter so you could be useful to me in my campaign. And I thought that was brilliant. Because if you got the finance to spend, why not invest in your wife?
Right. I would agree with that. Any long-term household investment is a great investment.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're putting it into the pot of the household. So,
right. And that really got me thinking a lot of things because now, like as I'm planning like marriage and I'm thinking about the shit, I'm like, man, because now you start to realize she's the extension of you.
Right.
So what could I'm good at certain things. What particular skill set could I have my wife do that would help me out tremendously? And so you think, okay, well, if I'm doing content creation, well, shit, maybe I should teach my woman how to be able to do well at keyword searching, how to do video editing, how to blah, blah, blah. So let me educate her, because then I give her some skill sets. So even if we break up or anything like that, she's still employable. She still got skill sets. She still got work. She still has abilities and things that she could present to an employer if anything ever happens to me. And it's like about looking out after her, like past your like whether you are alive or dead. Basically, it's kind of what you do. You gotta be like, yeah, almost planning and strategizing to make sure that she's taken care of even after your death.
Yep.
And not just her, but just the general estate. Because I think that's one of the things that we need to talk about as men is estate building. That's something that's not even taught. Like you ask the average young Asiatic, they don't even know what that means. Estate. What are you talking about? An estate?
It's sad, but they know every rap song that come on the radio. They know shoot that nigga, kill that nigga, rob that nigga, fuck that nigga. The Blicky, 6 God, Shot Glizzy, Glock. I'm being honest, you know all that.
No, you ain't lying. They know who's baby mama. They know who's we smoking on this nigga's this pack. It's just sad because we don't even have the basics down. And if you could you please tell me the etymology of a estate if you have that off the top of your head? Not to put you on no spot or anything like that.
I'm not sure if I have the etymology right off the top, but I know it deals with your condition, your overall condition of everything. So the estate changed the state of. when the people started doing corporate work. Like the state of Texas came from the estate of Texas and the people, but it was as a republic. In which you speak of them, but they're doing damn good. They got a surplus in the billions.
That oil money is no joke.
Nothing to play with.
Yeah, I live by UT. I'm a 5-minute walk from UT, and when I started learning, I got a good partner that's tied up in UT a little bit. So he knows the people, the higher brass. And he's basically breaking down to me like yo, UT owns like I don't know how many acres of oil fields, and they got donors that own oil fields. So we talking about almost billions of dollars worth of what's the word? Donations, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
Every year.
Damn.
If they want it, if they want it, UT gets it.
Yeah, that's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
I'd love to be able to get my hands on some of
that. We talk about low-key nation, low-key mini nation. That type of GDP.
Yeah. I mean, Texas got it as far as the land and the resources, the oil.
And then the political connections, the people who built off of that oil, the real estate within it. Because that's what people don't understand about it. Like, same thing with the Saudis. It's not just the oil that gets you the money. It's the residual off the money, off that oil. So now you're buying up real estate. You're buying up homes. You're buying up lumber. You're buying up real tangible resources that keep civilization moving. And that's a different type of level of money, different type of level of power.
That's right.
And it's the thing that's not talked about when we get to Black people, because it's so sad. It's like it hurts me because we're so far behind as a group, so far behind. And we're not even talking about money. I'm just talking about just some thought process. Our ability to project and think into the future. We just ain't there. And then it's like by the time a young man does figure it out, by the time the guy does get it, it's like, shit, the best I could do is hope to pass it down to my kids. We don't ever get that chance to have time on our side.
Well, in order to have time, you got to make time. That's an unfortunate realization I came to about that thing called time. Time is generally given to people who make it.
That's profound.
And a lot of our people, they don't make the time to learn what a state means. They don't make the time to learn what government, the rules of government engagement. What is government? What is not government? What is government structure? What is fundamental structure? What is not? What is Republican form of government? What is democracy? These are things are the cornerstone of building a civilization, building a future. It's easy to blame someone, but when you blame them, you still leave the solution with them in their hands. That's why I like the manhood accountability aspect, because you're taking that accountability out of their hands. You're taking the accountability and the issue of the solution out of their hands, and you're putting it right where it needs to be, which is on yourself. You know, what are you going to do about it?
You know? The first step is just like you said, education, the gift that keeps the gift that keeps on giving.
Right. You know, I think you did one of the best things any young Asiatic young individual, young industrious individual can do in America. You started your own business.
It ain't difficult. It's just you see so many. I shouldn't say it's not difficult, but it's more so just taking that leap upon yourself, especially when you have the time and the freedom to do so. which is what makes me so disappointed in a lot of like young Asiatics. It's like they're so scared to take the leap when they have the freedom to do it. And it's like dudes want to try to take the leap after they already like locked in with a family, they got kids, and then they want to try to figure it out. But then at that point, you kind of almost making excuses like, oh, it didn't work out. You know, I had kids and a family, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, okay, prior to you having kids and a family, what were you doing previously to that?
Sitting around,
chilling, smoking, kicking it with bitches for 6 years, just in hopes to get some ass. That's crazy. Niggas got patience for 6 years to get some ass, but don't got enough time to go to. That's crazy. I could like,
you know, getting ass is high up on the list. You know,
and it's so crazy because like ass is the least valuable thing on a woman.
Right.
And like one of the things I found that was most enlightening is like I've been preaching to my brethrens. I keep telling them, bro, the only way that you can keep a woman locked in with you for life is through education.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
Like you said, education is the gift that keeps on giving. Because if you can expand her mind, if you could teach her how to think better, how to be better, you don't ever need to have a dollar in your fucking pocket.
Yeah.
Because contrary to, like you said, one of the things that was stuck to me, it still sticks out to me, it's very profound. Women are naturally social creatures. Women will always be able to get more capital at the disposal than a man will. If we're starting from like scratch. Their network is much more intrinsic and deeper than a man's network will ever be.
Mm-hmm.
She knows a woman that knows a woman that knows a woman that knows a woman that knows a guy. And you start to realize men only men really only kind of interact and network with men of other ilk of power, if that makes sense. So it's very rare that you're going to find a man kicking it with a nigga who's broke when he's making $1 million. Just doesn't happen.
Right.
Unless you got some profound thoughts or some shit that he could take great value and lesson from, then maybe, yeah. But outside of that, it's like men only kick with like the same feathers or whatever that flock together. Women, not so much. Women are almost interacting with everything.
Because they have that at their disposal.
Mm.
It doesn't hurt a woman to deal with the woman on a different class and caliber. It's not a knock. Whereas for men, in the world of men, it's a knock. That's why they say high value man. You never hear high value woman.
That's real. I like that. That is a real knock. You can't be that's very deep. That's very deep because I noticed this as I'm starting to rise and climb up the ranks. It's like certain niggas I just don't associate with. We got nothing to talk about.
Right.
It's nothing personal. It's just like my bandwidth. There's so many people I deal with on a consistent basis. It's like, brother, what you at home? You at home smoking weed, trying to tell me about rap, bro? We on different levels right now.
Right, like you said, your bandwidth, your campaign they're not cohesive.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of guys. I tell them straight up, like, bro, please don't get offended if you don't hear from me. It's not personal. It's business.
Mm.
And the type of business I'm doing and the type of business you're doing, obviously, they're not meshing well.
Mm. It's real.
It's just for what I got going on. I can't help nobody be a better street nigga. That's not my lane. I'm not even gonna joke with people and be like, man, I'm about to be out. I'm about to go to get up early in the morning. We're gonna teach you how to run a trap house, and we're gonna do. That's not what I'm on.
I don't got it in me, brother. I'm sorry. It's like the same thing. Like a nigga who's fit, I'm not kicking it with fat people. Nothing personal. But it's like, bro, like I understand there's a certain type of discipline you have to keep yourself in shape, to run every day. So if you can keep yourself in shape, you run every day, and you making sure you keep everything nice and fit. I know me and you have a common thinking process. Now, if you a 300-pound ass nigga, I know if that can't be the only thing in your life that you letting go. That means you let a lot of shit slide, and I can't be accountable for that.
Right.
Like you're a liability in the field. It's like warriors don't kick with cowards.
Pretty much don't.
Kings don't kick with peasants. Like thinkers don't kick with doers, I guess you would say. But it's like you start to realize these things. It's like you have to, like, as a man, if you want to be successful, as fucked up as it sounds, you have to start categorizing people in certain classes. Because if you try to be open to everybody, you're not gonna have any time for yourself.
No, then you're gonna overload yourself with retarded thoughts.
And it's like you try to tell niggas, oh, go ahead, brother.
Oh no, I was saying you don't want to overload yourself with retarded thoughts. I've been there. Everybody's been. Well, I shouldn't say everybody, but wise men have been there. Where you start thinking thoughts that are just retarded, and it takes somebody else to come to get you and say, "Nah, bro, that was fucking retarded. What the fuck are you thinking?" You know what I'm saying? You know, you off your rocker.
This is true.
Because
you know,
that's when you accept too much, when your acceptance level is too high, and that's all I'm saying about even R. Kelly. When you accept the wrong people in your circle, when you accept the wrong individuals, the wrong presences, the wrong spirit, when you entertain the wrong people that are not built for your life and where you're going, you start having retarded conversations, and you start saying shit that is utterly fucking retarded, and it starts to show, and you start having mishaps and meltdowns in your life, and you're trying to figure out why it's happening. The powers that be they know exactly why it's happening. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, because he didn't stop hanging around a dude that all he wanted to do was kick it at the nightclub and get chicks. You know what I'm saying? And so he's gonna suffer. You're gonna pay the penalty. You know what I mean?
You get that Kanye situation,
right? Or you get that Tiger Woods. It's a lot of situations you can fuck around and have.
That's another funny thing when Tiger Woods started apologizing for getting some side pussy. I said, bro, you, because he didn't realize he lost a lot of good guys on the side. If Tiger would have came out and said, "Hey, look, man, I listen, bro, I'm fucking Tiger Woods, nigga. If I want to get some side ass, fuck it, I'm getting some side ass. What do you expect from me?"
Yeah.
He would have won a lot of dudes over. But then he did that weak ass apology. That was a fake apology. Everybody knew it was insincere. It ruined it. And one of the things that guys don't realize about that type of situation, it's like when you give in, it's not about making bad mistakes as a man, but when you try to cover up the mistakes as bull, like when you try to hide the mistake with those retarded thoughts, like, well, I'm trying to be a good guy. It's like that corrupts you. Because you kind of look and you said, man, who's this guy I'm looking at in the mirror? That wasn't me. And if you look at it, Tiger Woods hasn't been the same since that situation.
That's good. He shouldn't be the same. He should be better.
Well, he got worse. I think he got worse as a man.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, you lose your mojo. I think that might be another another topic we might talk about though. Is I remember Patrice O'Neal had this is a side tangent, but he had a conversation. He was talking about as a man, what to do when you lose your mojo, when you just ain't feeling like yourself, when you're stuck in a funk and you ain't feeling like you. Like you can't talk to women like you usually talk to them. You fucking up in business. You just not having a good time with life. What's something that you do? Like I guess that would be categorized as a relationship with yourself. How do you fix yourself when you're in a bad state, when you had a bad mojo, when your mojo ain't there? If you know what I'm saying.
How do you fix yourself? The first
Yeah,
thing
like
is you got to get around like-minded individuals who want to see you succeed. That's one thing I will say about manhood. The most of it is taking it alone, but the part where you're not alone, you gotta get around people that think like you. You got to,
mm,
because it's already a daunting task by itself. You know, you're already fighting the manhood fight solo for the most part. So you got to get around those people that want to help you, want to see you do better, want to see you succeed, want to see you do well. They want to see you have high dignity. They want to see you have high self-esteem. Individuals like that, I believe, want to see you do well. Not people that come out. We're gonna run down on the ops and we're gonna do all this.
see you on suicide burnt missions. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because that's I think one of the things I'm starting to notice. I'm seeing a trend when I'm working with these young people. They be telling me like, "Oh, bro, I'm cooked, man. I'm finished. Like, I don't know what to do with my life. I'm 21." I'm like, brother. I'm like, nigga, you're not finished, nigga. You 21 years old, bro. Like, you got your whole life ahead of you. Like I'd be asking, like, because here's the thing: a lot of things you don't realize, because a lot of times these young dudes, they feel inadequate. They don't feel like they feel like they should have $1 million in the bank. They should feel like they should have all these women. And I asked the young nigga, I said, man, are you living by yourself? He's like, yeah. You got a car? He's like, yeah. You got a job? Yeah. Are you able to eat every day? He's like, yeah. I'm like, then, bro, what are you complaining about?
Yeah.
You good at 21? That's great.
Yeah, that's great. You're doing great at 21.
Yeah, don't let these motherfuckers try to slow you, make you feel like you're inadequate because you don't have 10K every month. It's like, bro, we all start from zero. It's a grind. It's a good climb. It's a beautiful fucking climb. And when I do different house calls and I talk to young dudes, it's like, man, I didn't start my business till I was 32. 31, I mean, 31, 32. And now I'm just at the point where I'm prospering free, where I don't have a boss. My boss is myself, and it's all on me. I'm like, you're 21, man. You got a job. You got a car. I didn't have a car at 21. I didn't get my first car at 26.
Mm.
I was on a bike and a bus, nigga, most of my life.
So he gonna enjoy them days when he look back.
That's the most beautiful days.
Mm.
When I was living in sharing a bunk bed, riding a bicycle, rent was like $300 a month, and I was struggling to make that. Biking everywhere, broke as fuck. And I look back at those days, I said, man, that was beautiful. Just free. Fucking free. Free as a motherfucker.
They have a care in the world.
Not a care in the world. Now I got shit to lose, man. I got shit to protect. It's like, God damn it. Motherfucker, I have a wife soon, nigga. I'm like, damn, I gotta be a homeowner. And that's what these young niggas don't understand. Is like, bro, you're in the best time of your life right now, in the climb. Because everything that you do, every little accomplishment, it's like such a huge jump. And one of the things I start to realize, especially with like the relationship with yourself, is as you get higher up the mountain, as you start climbing, it takes more energy to do one step as it did when I was at the base of the mountain, where I can take a bunch of steps. It was that same energy I would take to make one step where I'm at now. I can shit, man. Like, I hope I'm making some sense. Like the steepness, the gradual incline. It's like it took me the same energy to do the first 50% of my walk as it takes me now when I'm in my current stage of life, where it takes the same energy just to do a one step or just like 1% of a walk.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm saying it's lonely at the top because most guys they don't want to keep walking. It's hard. It's like Everest.
It can seem that way, man. It can seem
Yeah,
that way.
it's very real.
That's why I tell people focus on the capital, the working capital on you in the valley. You're gonna need all of those things in the valley.
Mm,
When you get to the top, there's not a lot of people around. It's just you.
101. And you start to realize a lot of guys they look at, and this is another thing that guys don't understand. And this is a greater burden that falls upon man is that as you start to climb and as you really get to that top of the precipice, guys are looking at you for motivation and inspiration. You no longer have, how can I put it? It's like when you say that your idols become your rivals.
Yep.
It's like you have nobody no more to aspire to be like. You are the inspiration now.
Yep.
So what's driving you? And that's where you got to drive deep into the mind and really find that extra mile to dig. It's like I remember like Jordan used to say, like, I used to look for slights. Kobe, same thing. I used to look for reasons to fucking be mad at somebody just to keep me going. As crazy as that shit sounds, you making up fake enemies in your head.
You got to sometimes.
You got to. Keeps you sharp. And that's another thing that guys don't understand is like there's a certain paranoia, I would call it, as you start to rise. And because I'm starting to feel this now, I assume every guy that I come across is trying to take something from me. You be the friendliest motherfucker in the world, nigga. I don't. Who the fuck is you? And it's not like even with you, brother. You're my man. But when we used to early talk, I was like, this nigga trying to jit me? Man, he's trying to fuck. What is he trying to do? What's this angle? I'm like, you say. I mean, one of the funniest things you told me is like, you don't like to be fooled.
Yeah.
You don't like. I'm like, nigga, are you like? In my head, I'm thinking like, nigga, are you retarded? Who the fuck likes to be fooled?
A lot of people love to be fooled. There's a lot of people who love to be shammed.
I'm seeing. I'm understanding now. I thought you were bullshitting me.
That's a lot. And I didn't realize it until I got out there in the world, in the real world, that there are a lot of people who like the thrill of getting conned.
Yeah, I heard a comedian say, I enjoy the lie. I enjoy the what you call it. I enjoy the facade. It makes me feel comfortable. It makes me feel safe. I can't even lie to you guys. Sometimes reality is too much for me. I have to drink sometimes. I have to drink.
At least be honest with himself.
Yeah. He started crying. I remember one of the things he started crying. He's like, I don't know how to like, and like you think that he's joking, but he's like, how do you deal with being on the road comedian? You're selling out shows. Like, how do you deal with being separated from your family? He's like, I can't deal with it. Why do you think I drink so much? How do you think I deal with it? And like he's like laughing and crying at the same time. But I was like, damn, he ain't lying. He's real. The bird, they just don't understand. Like, that's what I'm saying. These young boys, they don't understand. Don't rush to grow up, man. Don't rush. There ain't no rush, man.
I wouldn't rush it.
Because you don't get that innocence back and that freedom. You don't get it back. I'm looking. Like I'm saying, like right now, I'm thinking I'm 32. Yeah, 32 years old. And I'm really thinking, like, damn, man. I'm gonna be I plan on being a dad by 2026. I plan on being married by 2025 if shit goes right. And so I got to really think about these days that I'm going, like these days that I'm living right now. These are last of my free days. I mean, if everything goes according to plan, which I'm pretty sure it shall, because if you're good at math, you can kind of do some calculations. Yeah, I'm looking like shit, man. I'm gonna be a family nigga. My time can be limited, and it's like you start to realize that, yeah, like because at 33, if I want to have kids, man, it's like my first kid when he hits 20 years old, I'll be 55.
Yeah.
That's the reality of the situation. I'll be 55 years old when my kid's 20. If I had a kid today.
Mm.
And that's not counting if I chose to have like 4 or 5 kids. And so when you start like really doing the math, when you start really looking at reality for what it fucking is, you're like, man, this shit is brutal. And I don't think a nigga at 2021 can really truly understand or comprehend how brutal reality is until you get to that. You really get to that age, and then you realize, wow, man, this is what it is. I didn't want to start a business, so I just started a business. Now I have to work for another man for the rest of my life.
That's one for a lot of people. That
Mm-hmm. And like I remember when I was working in the trades, when I was doing my electrical union, I mean, there's like you can start to sense the regret of old men. There's a lot of regret in old men when they realize, wow, I spent 30 years working for this company. 30 years. I'm gonna retire. And he's like, I never took a chance on myself to see if I can do it for myself. And you can just see the regret and the pain in their face. Like I never took a chance to be free. I have this and that's one of the things I really took. I've really been just taking from life is like you got to live free as a man. You got to really like, and I think this goes with the relationship with yourself. It's like a lot of men they're so scared of that freedom. Because like there's nobody else to blame. When you're free, there's nobody else to blame for any of the shit that happens to you, except for you. The only thing that happens to everything that happens to you is your fault. For better or for worse.
The sickness and health, the death do you part.
Mm.
That's a heavy pill.
Say that one more time.
I said that's a heavy pill to swallow for a lot of people.
Mm. It's like because I can live with failing. I can live with like I think even for my football career, I tried the best I could, did it as much as I can do, didn't work out. I'm happy with the results. I can live with it. I wanted to be a doctor. I did the steps necessary to be a doctor. I did the math and I realized I said, you know what? It's not worth the trade-off. And I'm happy with I'm happy that I did not choose to go that route. Like I knew I wanted to leave California. I want to go off my own, figure some shit out. I left. Even if this experiment in Texas went bad, I'm happy that I at least went out and tried. But so many men never even try. Never even try.
They never get the courage to try.
Mm.
And that's a pretty messed up situation to be if you don't have the courage to try. So at least try something.
At least try it. That's the thing. Manhood is it. I really don't think these young boys understand. Manhood is a motherfucker, man. Such a motherfucker. Because one of the things you start to also understand too is that your choices, I think about this now. My choices from 10 years ago all accumulated to where I am currently today with my current skill set, my abilities, even the very idea that I'm talking to you through a camera is is based upon choices that I made 10 years ago.
Mm.
And the conversation that we're having today will have an outcome 10 years from now.
True that.
And that's a very difficult fucking concept and reality for guys to accept.
Well, it shows the interconnectedness of our decisions,
Mm.
and that's something that a lot of guys we don't like to do. We don't like to look at. I'm held accountable for what I did, for my role, and here's where I'm held accountable. Because when life shows it to you, when life shows you, okay, you went out there and you made a couple decisions that influenced 5 or 10 teenagers, and they went out there and were monsters, and they just destroyed neighborhoods, destroyed communities, destroyed lives. And then you say, "Oh, well, that's on you. That's on you." And you go, most people are going to try to avoid that.
Mm.
But there's some things when it comes to manhood that you can't really avoid, like consequences, choices, and consequences. They walk hand in hand. The only difference is most times the people that see them are the people who just see them. They don't really talk about it. But when you got people that's talking about it, who see them, not only see them, but is talking about it, now you got power because now they're shaping and reshaping the world when it comes to global climate change, any of these things um, that's going on in the real world right now. It's a new world because the old world is fading away. The old world was all you just got some money, sprinkle some money at it, and it'll go away. Money ain't buying what it used to buy. You got people that's socially conscious. You got people that's socially conscious. That's like your money ain't going where you thought it could go, and it's not gonna take you where you thought it could take you.
Mm. I think that may be our next topic is the impact of the internet, the global consciousness, how that changes humanity. Because you start to realize now, like you said, with the money doesn't go as far, but there's something else that is more valuable, which is that social currency.
Yeah, that clout.
Mm.
Now that's a demon. That clout demon is serious.
Mm.
People do anything to get clout. I thought the 5 minutes of fame was serious in the Jerry Springer days. But
this clout shit. I don't know if you're familiar. There's a rapper called TK.
Yeah,
yeah, you're familiar with that story, right?
Yeah.
That's one of the most insane fucking stories of all time when you really stop and think about it.
Yeah.
All for clout. All for clout. The boy is facing 2 homicides. Filmed a fucking music video. Posted it. It had his picture. I said, that's insane. And see, and I look at that thing like he's like the canary in the coal mine. You're breaking up a little bit with your microphone, giving a little bit rattle.
Okay, can you hear better now?
It's a little bit buzzing, but hey, we can go ahead and we can call this a wrap. We just hit the hour mark, and we can chop it up a little bit on the offside. Yeah, I think I think that's our next topic is the clout demon and how that's affecting the young people. What's the future that look like? That's real, man. That's real.
Yeah, that the clout thing is scary to me because you don't know what the next person is going to go to over something that you don't even have or possess.
And it's all imaginary. Clout's not even real.
Right.
So we got people doing imaginary. We got people doing shit that has real world consequences for imaginary internet currency,
Yeah.
and that shit not even bringing money in. Next level, man. Appreciate you guys for listening. We're gonna go ahead and shut it down. Just hang on for the line for me a little bit.